So Erling Haaland is one of the most talked about football players in the world at the moment. But some of you may not know that due to his dad playing football in the country at the time, Haaland was actually born in Leeds in England. So in today's video, I'm going to be checking out what would happen if Erling Haaland had chose to play his international football for England. But before we kick off, you can go and check out my friends over at Super Club Soccer, which is a turn-based, free-to-play football game available now on Steam. You can create your own player and customize them to your liking, and then take them and play with people from around the world. Each player in a team is individually controlled, meaning you can team up with your friends or other players. There's also 3D or 2D views available for the gameplay, and you could create your own club with your own badge and kits to take on other clubs in tournaments, where there are 5-a-side or 11-a-side modes available. Super Club Soccer available now on Steam. So, as you can see, we have now got Erling Haaland on Football Manager 2021, and we've changed his nationality in game to English. So, we've removed the Norwegian nationality. He's declared for England. We've obviously removed the caps for Norway as well. And as you can see, his place of birth is in fact Leeds. He's declared now for England. Of course, he can still speak Norwegian, English, Swedish, German and Danish as well. So we're going to be seeing how he can get on for England. Still, of course, playing for Borussia Dortmund over in Germany. We're going to be skipping forward to mainly see the next 3 major tournaments. So, of course, we've got the Euro 2020. Well, it's 2021 now, obviously. So, yeah, we've got Euro 2020/21. We've got the World Cup 2022. And we've also got the 2024 Euros as well. So, we're going to be coming back at the end of each of those major tournaments to see how many games Haaland has played, how many goals he has scored, and, of course, to see if he moves clubs, if that English nationality influences his next few clubs. Let's go and check out how he gets on. So, then, we've skipped forward 2 years, and well, what we're going to be doing is just before the World Cup, we're going to be seeing how England have got on, how they got on in the Euros as well. But we can see here Haaland now 21, 15 caps, 13 goals, still at Borussia Dortmund, valued at £72 million, scoring a good amount of goals for the German side as well. And he's currently wanted by Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City and Real Madrid. So let's see how let's quickly look how he's got on the last 2 seasons really. And as you can see here, scored just 8 league goals last season in the Bundesliga, but this year really kicked on. He got 20 goals in 30 games. It's quite interesting that he only played 20 games as well in the league. He had a couple of big injuries, to be fair, a major hip injury, bit of back strain in there as well. It is quite interesting there, but as you can see, he has now played for England. He's actually made some under 21 caps as well, which is quite interesting, but he has now played for England. So let's see what happened really. Let's see if we can click his history and check out his milestones maybe. So in terms of England, his first international cap was against Belgium in 2020, and his first international goal was against Denmark. And a little bit of a spoiler there, England obviously went on to win the Euros. So let's see how they're getting on. Still got Gareth Southgate in charge at the moment. Let's skip back to 2020, which is where we would have kicked it off. And they're, of course, in their sort of Nations League. Didn't look like they did too well in there. They got a couple of wins here and there, but 3 wins, 3 defeats. And then we move on to 2021. They've got a couple of World Cup qualifiers in there, beating San Marino, Ireland and Finland. And then their Euro group. So they got Portugal, Wales and Norway. So a pretty tough group, but they finished unbeaten in that. Marcus Rashford scoring in the game against Portugal. Haaland actually getting the first goal in a 3-1 win against Wales. And then a 3-0 win against Norway. Of course, Haaland's other team. Haaland didn't actually play in that game at all. They got into the second round where they beat France 2-0. Again, Haaland playing no part in that game. They beat Finland 2-1. Haaland did come on in that game where they beat Finland. They went into the semi-final where they smashed Croatia 4-0. Actually 2 goals in that game for Erling Haaland, which is lovely to see. And then went on to beat Italy 2-1 to become European champions, where Haaland scored the opening goal of that game. So that is fantastic to see. England winning the Euros. Haaland getting a good amount of goals in there as well, to be fair. I don't think we could check out the stats, unfortunately, from that tournament in terms of player overview. But, I mean, Haaland did pretty well. He scored a decent amount of goals in there. So, yeah, really, really good start for him. Since then, they've obviously had their World Cup qualifiers as well. And it looks like Haaland scored a few in those, scoring twice against Luxembourg. Let's see if there's any other goals in there as well. I can't really see many other goals. No. So 2021 was a good year for Erling Haaland. European champions with his first year with England. And they've just had 2 friendlies since then as well. But yeah, it's good to see, you know, scoring in a final. 13 goals in 15 games so far for England, which is fantastic. And some big clubs sniffing around him, maybe looking to see how he gets on. Playing predominantly as a striker for both club and country. And he's actually 13 goals in his most recent 14 international games with 4 assists as well. So things are looking good for Haaland. Just a quick look actually to see how Southgate's been playing, really. You can see here, he's playing a lone striker. And obviously Kane and Haaland are both very good strikers. Haaland's form has obviously shifted Harry Kane onto the left-hand side. So unless the manager changes, it's going to probably be sort of 50-50 in terms of games for Haaland and Kane, who's, you know, Kane is valued so highly and such a good player, but so is Haaland. So there's going to be a bit of a selection headache there for Southgate. So good European Championship, good start for England. Let's skip now another year and see how England get on in World Cup 2022. So we've skipped to the end of the 22-23 season. We're going to be checking out how Erling Haaland gets on again. He's now at Chelsea, so he has moved clubs this summer. He's now at Chelsea. Still got a great record for England, 20 goals in 23 games. Of course, we're going to be seeing how England get on. Again, there's a little spoiler on the screen, but we're going to quickly move on. Chelsea signed him, smashed 108 million out for Erling Haaland, who managed to grab 10 goals. Of course, after winning the Euros with England, Chelsea thought it was only right to spend the money. And they spent up to £108 million on signing Haaland. So, yeah, scoring 10 goals in his debut Premier League season, 17 in all competitions. Scored 6 in the Champions League, I'd assume, for Chelsea there as well. So, let's check out England. Let's see how they got on. They're ranked first in the league now. First in the world, rather. Let's check out their schedule. We're going to go back. And they've won the World Cup as well. So, England have gone on to win the Euros and the World Cup in consecutive years. My word. Right, let's start off with the Nations League, just to see if Haaland had scored many goals in there. He scored twice again against Wales. Wales seem to be one of the countries that he likes scoring against. It shows that England didn't do too well in this. They've got 2 defeats in there. And then obviously the pre-World Cup friendly was against USA. And they had a group of Croatia, Costa Rica and Korea. Definitely a group they should get out of. He scored twice there, Haaland, against Costa Rica. And then a late goal there against South Korea to see England through. In the second round, they beat Turkey, where Haaland didn't play any part of that game. He also scored twice there in a 5-1 win over Uruguay in the quarter-finals of the World Cup. They won on penalties just about. Haaland did score the first penalty in that game. And then they went on to beat Belgium 1-0 in the final, where Harry Kane scored the only goal of the game. But Haaland played no part in that final, which is a little bit disappointing. Like I say, with Kane and Haaland, I think Southgate is going to pick between the two. And it was obvious that Kane got the nod in that game. They beat Moldova 7-0 in the Euro qualifiers and beat Ireland 3-1 as well in that one. But Haaland, again, not really playing a part of those 2 games. I think with his young age as well, and I bet, you know, we look at the tactics, still playing a 4-2-3-1. Haaland is still in the squad. Still got a great record for England. You know, there's always that argument with some players. You know, even when they don't perform in the league, they still have a great record for their country. And it looks like Haaland could be one of those. But, you know, there's no denying he's been a massive part in England's 2 huge trophy wins so far. A European Championship and a World Cup. That is massive. And, you know, 20 goals in 23 games is a fantastic record. So, we're going to skip forward now another 2 years. See how Haaland's got on. And obviously see how England have got on in the next... What was it going to be? Next European Championships it will be, not next World Cup. But it's been a fantastic start for Erling Haaland. So then, Euro 2024 is now complete. And we're going to be checking out Erling Haaland. Still at Chelsea. And, yeah, 23 years of age now. Valued at £83 million. We're going to be seeing how he has got on. Let's have a look. So, Chelsea there, as you can see, scored 17 goals for them this season. 29 in all competitions, did well in the cups, continental. You know, he's done really well there. And another great season for him with Chelsea. As you can see now, just still only 23 goals in 30 games. So, you know, he's obviously not scored too many in his more recent England games, but still doing quite well, scoring 3 in 7 for England. Let's see how they've gotten in the most recent Euros. And, well, as you can see, it's a bit of an embarrassing one for England, losing out in the second round on penalties to Poland. They got through their group quite easily, to be fair. Beat Turkey 3-2, beat Austria drew to Austria, 2-2, and beat Romania, 3-0. Just having a quick look, Haaland played in that game, but he only played the one game in the groups. He came off the bench, I'd assume, in the game against Poland, where he scored a penalty, but Jack Grealish and Curtis Jones missed their penalties for England to get knocked out of the Euros. So after, dominating, trophies, winning the World Cup, and, arguably being the best team in the world, England have crashed down the second round of the European Championship. Quite a big shock, that one, to be fair. But obviously, Haaland, not a lot he could do in that one. We're going to look, you could just see down here on his career milestones. For Chelsea, though, they won the treble just there. The Carabao Cup winners, Premier League division champions, and European Champions League winners as well. A great season from a club point of view for Erling Haaland, and it'll be interesting to see, if he gets much more interest. He's got it good at Chelsea now. They're obviously, doing quite well under Frank Lampard, winning the league as well for the first time in a number of years. So he's doing the business there. And just checking out his development every now and then, just to be sure that he's not being, pushed into different positions. But you can see now England have got Jose Mourinho in charge. We look at the tactics there. At the moment, it's still a 4-2-3-1, but we've not seen Mourinho take charge just yet. I'm tempted to do maybe a part 2 of this video, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like to see it, because I think we need to see Haaland play more. He's obviously not getting enough games. He's not starting enough games, I don't think, for England. You can see there, in the Euros, that is, he came off the bench twice. He didn't start the game. In the qualifying, he started 2 games. So at the moment, Kane is keeping him out of that team. He scored a goal every 62 minutes in the European Championship qualifying. So he's doing well there. But yeah, I think a part 2 could be quite good. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think, guys. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until next time, I'll see you all very, very soon.